Oh man, here it is, guys. Now I want to get this right because I'm really excited for this. So let me read you something that I found about Civil War. All right, Civil War. It's 1861, and President Abraham Lincoln was hard at work trying to abolish slavery. Damn you, Wikipedia! Hey everybody, welcome back to Drinks and a Movie. Chris Hamker back with you. This time we're talking about Captain America Civil War, and I'm super excited. Almost excited not to do the drink first, but of course I'm going to do the drink first. So here we go. I got Ironman Cocktail and I got a Captain America Cocktail for you. So the Ironman Cocktail is 2 parts Amaretto, 1/2 part Grenadine, and this is pretty cool. You put both of these into a shaker with ice. Nope, this is the 1/2 part of Grenadine. There we go. Put both of these into a shaker with ice. Shake it up, get it real cold. And then, this is the cool part, you put it into a rocks glass, is what it should be. I have just the basic, small glass. Because, I don't have everything. Okay? Just deal with it. There's your 2 shots of Amaretto. Put this in here, shake her up a bit. Pour it into a rocks glass. All right, and then the topper is a shot of orange juice in the center. And it's gonna be a weird cut, so I'm gonna show you what this is supposed to look like. So in here, after you got it all in there, it's, guess what? Tony Stark's arc reactor. And then you just drink it normally because, once you tip it, the orange juice will pour into the Amaretto, and you'll have a nice cocktail there. Anyway, enjoy. Okay, so now that you have your Ironman cocktail, next is to make and I say the best for last because go Team Cap, the Captain America cocktail. So what that is 2 ounces or shots of Hpnotiq. Get the nice cool blue out of that. Then 2 ounces of vodka. And after that, you fill, how about 1 ounce of vodka? We'll go with 1 because, Jesus Christ. And then fill the rest with Sprite to make it all spangly. Because who's more spangly than Captain America? Not so much in this, he's kind of tough and a badass. But there you go, there's your Captain America cocktail. Pour in a 12-ounce glass over ice and then enjoy. Look at that, it's beautiful. So, cheers everybody. I'm gonna try this bad boy. Alright everybody, let's get into the nitty gritty here. Captain America Civil War, I gotta tell you, this is my most anticipated movie of the year. Even more than, and I'm a little bit ashamed to say this, even more than Star Wars Rogue One later in the year. I was really excited and really pumped up for this movie. This movie is again directed by the Russo brothers, who directed Captain America Winter Soldier, and it stars Chris Evans and Robert Downey Jr. as Captain America and Iron Man respectively. And it also stars Scarlett Johansson, Paul Bettany, Paul Rudd, Chadwick Boseman, William Hurt, Daniel Bruhl, John Cheadle, Anthony Mackie, Tom Holland, Sebastian Stan, and I'm sure there's a couple I'm missing. Look, I'm just pointing out that it's pretty much everybody from the MCU short of the Hulk and Thor, which is surprising. It's pretty much a miracle that it didn't become jumbled and bogged down with all these characters. I mean, they did a great job of including all these and not make it feel like it was overstuffed. So this movie at its core is about government agencies, in this case the United Nations, taking over the decision of yep, easy for me to say. Cheers everybody. Drink every time I can't speak. Taking over the decisions of the Avengers instead of them acting autonomously. Now, Captain America is on the side of no government oversight. He feels like their own decisions is the best way to handle their business. I mean, they know when to get involved and when not to. That's the safest way to do it. Tony Stark, on the other hand, feels like they need to be put in check, otherwise more innocent people could be killed by their actions. And these points of view are very clearly pointed out in the movie, and I understood why each of the characters took the side that they did, and I was very impressed with that. There wasn't any kind of ambiguity as to why these two the Avengers have been split apart and put at odds at each other. So the other part of the story is the worldwide manhunt of Captain America's friend Bucky / the Winter Soldier, and the hunt for him is kind of the impetus for all the action and all the fighting and all the conflict in the movie. In addition to these Sokovia Accords that the United Nations had proposed to the Avengers, but it's pretty much Cap and Bucky's friendship that is the driving force in the story. Okay, so now let's real quick talk about some things I liked, and there are quite a few of them, so bear with me. First of all, I want to mention the airport sequence that is shown pretty much in every trailer, with the two sides facing off against each other. All the heroes, you see them all running at each other in the trailer, and it is astounding. It is easily the best action sequence in any comic book movie I've ever seen, and I don't say that lightly. It is an amazing sequence. It's so much fun. I almost couldn't stand it, and it was clear. It was easy to see what was going on. It was funny, and thank you, Marvel, for not spoiling everything in the trailers, because there's a nice surprise kind of at the end of the fight sequence that just blew my mind. It was so much fun, and just the effects are incredible, and that scene alone is definitely worth the price of admission. Okay, next is Spider-Man, and pun intended, see, there you go, drink again. He was amazing, and he was a little bit shoehorned into the plot, I gotta say, but Tom Holland killed the character so well that, and he was in it for just the right amount of time. He wasn't in it for very long, for just the right amount of time, that I am so very much looking forward to his standalone movie. As a matter of fact, I want to see it right now. Come on, Marvel, put it out right now. Now, one of the other things I loved was Chadwick Boseman's Black Panther. I don't know a whole lot about the character. I've read a little bit of him in the comic books when he was like involved in the Illuminati and stuff like that. And so from that knowledge, I feel like he and the filmmakers really got this character right. I mean, he almost stole the movie for me. He just had all the right emotions to it. He had this great revenge story going, and not to mention the fact that he was totally badass. And, I think he was a little bit overpowered, but I don't know a lot about Black Panther, so I can't really say whether he was overpowered or not, because I don't really know much about him. So I'm going to reserve judgment on that a little bit, but he seemed unstoppable, but he was amazing. He was really cool to see, and a great addition to this movie. So the movie was also very well paced. I mean, the Russos had a lot of things to juggle in this, and it never seemed boring, it never seemed jumbled, and I feel like that's really hard to do. Now, having said all that, I gotta be honest, when I left the theater, I felt like I was missing something. Now, here comes the curveball. Do I think it deserves all the praise that it's getting? No, I don't. And I know some of you are going to be like, what? But look, it's not the greatest comic book movie ever made. It does have problems. It's not even the greatest MCU movie. It's not an A+. It's not a 10 out of 10. You see what I'm getting at. There are problems. One of which is the so-called villain of the movie, Daniel Bruhl's Zemo, was totally pointless. He could have been written out of the movie, and all the same things could have happened, and it would have probably made more sense. I thought his character was terrible, and it wasn't his motivations. His motivations were fine. I mean, they were clearly spelled out, and I didn't have a problem with that. The problem I had was with his the executions of what he was trying to accomplish. Didn't make any sense at all. and left the movie with a lot of plot holes. So the last problem I had with this movie, and it's probably my biggest problem with it, is that the movie takes no risks. It is so safe, and this is starting to become Marvel's MO. The movie was said to be a game changer for the MCU, and it really wasn't. I mean, sure, at the end things are a bit different, but in the grand scheme of things, nothing really changed. Marvel needs to start taking some risks with their movies because there we go. Because they're going to stop becoming exciting and start becoming repetitive. Without risk, there is no danger. Without danger, there's no suspense. And thus, concludes my Yoda portion of the review. Look, they need to start taking risks. Look, despite all this, the movie still gets a solid 4.5 drinks out of 5. I thought it was really fun, really great, had a lot of joy about itself, and was really, just awfully entertaining. I mean, I've seen it twice now, and I'll probably see it a third time. So go see the movie. It's just Marvel. You have to stop playing it safe, because if there's no danger for your characters, then there's no point to really anything. So, thank you so much, everybody, for joining me. Please let me know what you think of Civil War. I was a little bit conflicted when I left the first time. I liked it better the second time. Please tell me what you think. Let me know what your favorite MCU movie was, or do a top 3 or something like that. That would be great. Thank you so much for joining me, everybody. Cheers. Have a drink on me. Thanks a lot. If you like this, subscribe. I'll see you later.